Hey guys, we are live on What's for Dinner. Hope you're all doing well. It's about 5:20 on, what is today, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon, super hot out today.
I'll take it over a 50-degree day any day.
Yeah, the cold, wet Missouri winter days. Sometimes they're not fun. They do get old after a while. All right, so what do we got going on today, hon?
So we have ground beef for burgers. This is a cow that we bought, so our
Yeah.
freezer's full of this. So
Yeah, we had some friends who we went on we bought a cow from them, and I ground those up today and put some seasonings in it. And then for Teresa, she has the American cheese on hers, and I have baby Swiss on mine. So,
yep,
and then what do we got going on here?
bacon.
This is like every single night.
Someone today said, "Is bacon okay?" I was like, just watch
Just
our
watch our What's for
Dinners."
Dinner, because it's pretty much every night. Yeah, bacon in the air fryer for those of you that's the first time.
Yep.
The like Teresa likes to call it, our well-loved air fryer.
Oh, it is so loved.
It is so loved. And then we've got some eggs.
Yep.
Cooking in butter.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
bacon
good.
grease. Apparently Nate and his girlfriend made bacon today, so they had grease still in this pan, and I just added some butter.
Nice. Used it for cooking. All right. And then what else do we have going on here? So
Sauerkraut, dill pickles, ketchup, tomato, and onion.
okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Oh, and then of course I'm going to put some butter on mine. Oh, hey Blake, I got you in the background. Sorry about that, buddy. He's putting his shoes on over there. So we have some actual Amish full cream butter there, and a little bit of guacamole.
Yep.
It was left over. Okay, so will any of this stuff that we made cause our blood sugar or our insulin to spike?
No.
And why is that important?
It's important because that's the crux of all disease. Inflammation and insulin is behind everything, including cancers. And so if you want to be the healthiest you can be, you need to keep insulin low. Now, sometimes you're not thinking about fatty liver, anxiety, bipolar, diabetes. You're just thinking about weight. Still, if you also want to lose weight, you have to bring your insulin down. So that's why.
That's good stuff.
Okay.
It's very important. Talk about the. I love this stuff, so I want to. And I know a lot of people. We get new viewers all the time.
Okay.
So talk about the clotting cascade and how that all works with this, with insulin and sugar.
So diabetics are at double and triple the risk for heart attack and stroke. That's because
Cholesterol, right?
That's because when you elevate insulin, you activate the clotting cascade, which is clots. When they've done dissections of plaque that have ruptured for heart attack and stroke, they've never found cholesterol in there. It's fibrinogen and all the clotting
Factors,
factors and
cofactors,
stuff.
whatever. Yeah.
So when someone reports to me they've had a stroke or a heart attack, but I know they have diabetes, I'm not shocked. I'm sad, but I'm not shocked. But unfortunately, not many of us change our habits until there's a health crisis on the line. That's how we changed. We were doing dirty keto for a long time until I had a health scare in 2019, and we hit it hard instantly.
Yeah, we pretty much went full carnivore for about a year, and then we also started fasting that time too. Yeah. We were doing OMAD for a very long time.
I wouldn't recommend doing it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's scary, and you're kind of crawling out from 6 feet under instead of just starting on level ground. But
yeah. Gotcha. So really, it's the sugar and the insulin that's causing the heart attacks and the strokes and whatnot. It's not cholesterol. Is that what you're saying? How dare you?
in loud, all cap letters.
How dare you?
Heresy.
Totally. Okay. So you have I understand you've got a case study you wanted to go over.
I do. And then I don't want to forget, but also a patient who's been with me for a long time texted and said she ended up having some high blood pressure and she has a new murmur. And this patient has a lot of other issues like, I want to say mast cell, but anyway, she said her cardiologist said that it's hard to say, the new murmur is from her thyroid medicine. And I was like, absolutely not, that's just silly. I texted her back. But so if it's because I have my patients on natural desiccated thyroid or compounded thyroid, which includes T3, if this patient was on levothyroxine or Synthroid, the cardiologist would not have even said one word. He just would have been like, oh, you're on levo. But because you're on compounded or natural desiccated, they lose it.
Wow.
They lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't have that much power. I am not that anointed to give you some thyroid medicine and make you have hyperthyroidism, a heart murmur, and whatever else. Like, I'm just not that anointed.
Fortunately.
Right.
Okay, what do we got going on
Okay, so
here?
this is a case study. This is a sweet patient of mine. She's been a patient for quite some time now. And She's 41, and here are her hemoglobin A1Cs for the last couple years. So in 2022, it was 5.2, completely normal, and her fasting insulin was 8.8. I didn't write insulin. And then in 2023, it jumped up to 5.4, but her insulin jumped up to 20. And then later in 2023, it jumped, this is essentially the same. It was 5.3, but her insulin kind of came down. This insulin is still high, okay? This is still high. But the normal for corporate medicine is 18.4. Anything below that, it doesn't register as high. This is where the problem was. Her labs this time, I did not do an A1C, but I did her fasting glucose, which was not elevated. I forgot to write it. It was like 88 or 89. But when I go to the calculator on Google, the HOMA IR, and I put in her fasting insulin, her fasting glucose, her HOMA IR score is 3.0. Anything above 3 is severe insulin resistance. When I talked to her today, well, first of all, she has a history of polycystic ovarian syndrome. PCOS is always insulin resistant at the resistance at the root cause. But when I talked to her today, she was telling me that she feels terrible. She's not sleeping. She's up every morning at 1 a.m. And guess what? She just got put on a blood pressure medicine. When she tells me that, I say, that's unfortunate. I hate that for you, but that doesn't shock me, because what I say on here oftentimes, number one, blood pressure, 95% of the time is due to too high of insulin. Insulin causes your kidneys to hold on to sodium, and it spikes your blood pressure. Also, by the time you get diagnosed with diabetes by a hemoglobin A1C, which is a 3-month average daily blood sugar, that's how corporate medicine diagnoses you, you've been sick for years, okay? As you can see from this woman, her insulin has been elevated for a long time, but her hemoglobin A1C stays steady and normal because her pancreas is working too hard.
So the pancreas is cranking out the insulin, and the insulin's picking up the sugar and clearing it out of the
Right,
blood.
so then nobody sees it. Well, yeah,
Gotcha.
Nobody but me. And then on the back, I wrote down that I also was just looking through this. I have a 17-year-old female that I just ran labs on because her mom is my patient. Her A1C was 4.9. I love this. This is where I want A1Cs, 4.9 or below. However, her fasting insulin is 29. Right? Mm-hmm. So this would stay low for a long time. At 17, she's compensating very well. This woman here at 41, it will probably take her 10 years before her hemoglobin A1C reaches an abnormal state. And she has done all this damage for years.
Yeah.
So she was crying. We were Zooming. She was crying because it's a lot. And I was just like, I love you, but we got to get this under control. The problem is they live rurally. She lives next to her daughter and her daughter's husband and kids. So she cooks for them because he works late. She cooks for the grandkids. And she's like, it's just easier to cook spaghetti, mac and cheese, and chicken nuggets. Yeah. I get it. I remember not being a grandma, but I remember my own kids when they were little. It's hard. And I said, at some point, at 41, to be on a blood pressure pill, at some point, they're going to have to rally around you and say, what do we need to do for you? If she came home with cancer, they'd rally around her and say, what do we need to do? But blood pressure, everyone has blood pressure. You just get on a pill. So she's really struggling to figure out where to start and all that, like you guys are. So, but this is a big deal.
For clarification on the blood pressure side of things, so my understanding is, okay, so we have insulin on board, and our insulin is at a constant elevated state because of the way we're eating, right? We're eating high carb, high sugar. So pancreas is cranking out insulin. So the insulin has an affinity for sodium, for salt, right? So it retains salt, or so when you're eating salt, the insulin causes you to retain that. That also causes you to retain water.
Yeah.
And then in that case, and that's what causes your blood pressure to go up. Is that right?
Sodium and water go together. And so I had to tell her, if you decide to change, when you decide to change, the second you're dizzy and you don't feel good, you have to break your blood pressure pill in half, because your blood pressure, taking a pill, is going low, and then eating like this is going low, and you're going to plummet and feel terrible. It's the first thing within days. People have to cut back on their blood pressure pill.
And you got to do that for people who are also injecting with insulin as well.
Right.
They have to adjust the insulin dosage based on what they're eating.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when doctors tell you to watch your sodium, they're telling you the wrong thing, because you drop your sodium, but your insulin's still high, and you still have blood pressure issues, and you need a second blood pressure pill. Like I saw someone today who's on 3 blood pressure pills.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be on that many.
So just telling you to stop eating salt is not great, or to just reduce your salt. And I mean, I can attest to that because I don't have blood pressure issues, and I mean, I pound salt all day long. especially if I'm fasting.
Right.
You know, I have that little jar of red bean salt with me, and I just pour it straight down my throat, chase it with some water.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is serious stuff. There are medicines to treat these things, but how exhausting is it to constantly go to doctor's appointments? You miss work, you got these co-pays, you pay for these medicines. I mean, and it's not health.
No, and the frustrating part of it is, you know, you're being put on a medicine that you don't need to be put on a medicine. It's just a small it's not necessarily small, but a lifestyle change. And then you get put on the blood pressure pill. That's going to cause some, to treat the symptoms, not to cure the underlying cause. Then the blood pressure pill is going to cause a problem of some sort.
Like constipation.
And then you're going to get put on another medicine for the constipation, which treats, again, the symptoms of constipation, not fixing the constipation and the reason why, the root cause. Then you get put on another medicine. See, it's like we were trying to come up with a name for this cascade last night. I wanted to come up with something clever, but I haven't come up with one yet.
I like the chaos. What'd you say, chaos circus?
I remember it's like the chaos circus cascade or the
yeah,
something like that. But
chaos cascade.
But anyway, it's this never ending. And the next thing you know, you're on 5 or 6 different meds and you're stuck in the system. And eventually it gets to the point where.
And that's where they want you. They
Yeah.
want you in that system. They want you thinking, oh, gee, I have insurance, so I can only go to this system. They have a lot of people trapped.
Yeah.
So.
Well, anyway, well, right on. We're at 11 minutes, 11 and a half
gosh,
minutes, so it's going to
sorry.
take a long time to upload this video on YouTube. But hey, guys, thanks so much for watching. Tell us what you're having for dinner. If you have any questions, shoot them our way. We love you all.
Yes.
We're here for you, and God bless you all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.